Hello there. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create search engine friendly URLs. Now at the moment, the URL for an item page, for example, is something like store items /view/11, okay? And it does the job, but obviously this is not very search engine friendly. So I'm going to show you how to change that and get it looking a bit nicer, and hopefully that would help the site to rank higher on the search engines. Okay, now there's lots of developers who like to use htaccess to create search engine friendly URLs. There's nothing wrong with that at all. If you like to use htaccess, if you are familiar with regular expressions and all of that stuff, then go ahead and skip this video, be my guest, and good luck, okay? But in this video, I'm going to show you a very easy way to make search engine friendly URLs, a method that does not involve messing around with htaccess, because there's lots of developers who maybe just feel a little bit uncomfortable faffing about with htaccess files, okay? And did you know that you can actually use the module system to handle making search engine friendly URLs? And as a matter of fact, you can use the module system for just about anything. I actually use the module system to store my own custom site settings. Let me show you exactly what I mean, okay? So we'll head into the modules folder here, and I'm going to introduce you to a module that follows me everywhere. I use this on every single website, and it's called site. Whoop, come on. Here we go. This module is called site_settings, okay? Site_settings. There's no models folder and there's no views folder, okay? Now, site settings, let me just prepare this. This module, site settings, can be used for storing things like the owner's email address, or maybe the telephone number if it's a company. Anything that's a setting that might be unique to this web application that you've built, you can store it in here. Now, could you store it in some, maybe the config file? Yes, you probably could. But you know something, folks? As a modules guy, I generally don't like having things here, there, and everywhere. I don't like messing around with config or helpers or the libraries folder or anything like that. I like the module system, So I'm going to make a module up, or a function even, and I'm going to do an underscore and make it private, and I'll call it get item segments, okay? And what that's going to do is it's going to return the segments for the store item page. That is, of course, the product page, right? So the segments that I'd like to use for that, well, let's have a think about this. What are we looking at here? Well, it's a musical instrument. It's a Fender guitar and it's a musical instrument, okay? So how about if we say segments is musical/instrument, okay? And then we'll do a little / and then we'll return segments, okay? Now I'm going to make another function up, exactly the same, and I'll call this get items. Look at the plural, items segments. So this is going to return the segments for the category pages, okay? Like so. And for this one, well, think about this. This is going to be like if someone navigates to Gibson guitars or something, okay? So we could call it Gibson guitars. Well, what are they? They are music instruments, something like that. So we could call it music/instruments. These are the segments that I would like to use on these pages, okay? Nice and easy, folks. Nice and easy. Now listen, obviously, if I was building an online shop for somebody who specialized in designer handbags, then I might have this saying designer / handbag. You know, something like that. Who knows? Maybe this would say leather / handbags. I don't know. But the vibe is you change this depending on what the online shop is going to be trying to sell, you know? That's the vibe. So let's make a module up called musical, okay? I'm going to go into the modules folder here and we'll duplicate this little beauty like so. And we'll call this musical. Like so, okay? Now, again, this will not be using models and views, so we can chuck that in the trash. And let's just take a moment to set up the musical module. So we're going to rename it to musical, like so. I'm going to rename the class to musical, and then I'm going to get rid of all of this. We'll just simplify here. And we'll make a function up that's called instrument. Okay, and we'll do a little echo hello statement here. So let's see what's happening. This is the URL that we've got, okay? But we want a nicer URL. We want a URL that says musical, or is it music instrument? You can see that I had a practice here. Something like that. And no, let me just look at musical. I'm so sorry. Musical, oh gee. Maybe these aren't the most awesome phrases. Musical instrument, hello, okay. That's cool. Now, if you think about the store items page, here it is here. Do you remember how we had this column called item URL? Remember this? So if we add the item URL here, do you agree that this would be a really awesome and search engine friendly URL? I think the answer you're looking for is yes, it would be awesome. So let's figure out what the item URL is going to be. Oh, sorry, the item ID, right? I'll just write that in. Figure out what the item ID is. So to do that, I'm going to say item URL equals this, URI segment 3. Okay, and I'm just going to echo the item URL, and if we hit refresh, here it is. Okay, now you may be wondering, well, why do that? Why not just say item URL like so? Well, that kind of works, but the problem with that is that if you get some marvel of modern day science who goes on and says, yeah, let's have a look here, then you're going to have an error message. So that's why I would prefer not to do this passing in business, and I would do it like that. We don't get an error message, okay? That's the vibe. So now what we need to do is load up the store items module. Okay, and then I'm going to get the item ID. So let me just load up store items actually. Do we have, let's just build a function, get item ID from item URL, okay? Get item ID from item URL. Okay, let's just do that. So it's going to say query equals this, get where custom. Now this is the store items controller, right? So get where item URL is item URL. We're going to say for each query loading up result as row, and I'm going to say item ID equals row ID. Then I'm going to say if not is set item ID, then item ID equals 0. That's just so that we don't get any crazy error messages, you know. And then I'm going to return the item ID. Now that is simple. That's very easy. There's nothing new, and that shouldn't be heavy or anything, okay? So I'm going to say item ID equals this, store items, get item ID from item URL. We can now echo the item ID onto the screen, and as you can see, it's 11. So all we need to do now is go this, store items, and then it's view, and we pass in the item ID. Now what's view? Well look, that's the segment on the store items thing for bringing up this page, right? So that's the vibe. So if I refresh this screen, you'll see that it says unable to load the requested file musical / view. Now the reason why it's getting a bit mixed up here is because if we go to this view thing on store items, do you remember how on the templates page it tries to figure out what the view module is? Do you remember that? And do you remember how it looks at the first segment? So what's happening is it's looking for a file called view, and it's looking inside the musical module, but that's the wrong place to look, right? But that's okay, because we can just go to store items, and in the view function we can say data view module equals store items. So now we're telling the template where to look for this file, and if we go back and refresh the page, you'll see that we now have a wonderful search engine friendly URL. Everything looks fine. It loads incredibly quickly. And look at this. We did not need to get bothered with any of that htaccess nightmare stuff. So that's the vibe. And we can do this for categories as well, and we're going to do that later on. And as a matter of fact, if you're thinking, well, hang on, we never used any of this stuff, well, stay cool, we're going to use this later on. In the meantime, thank you very much indeed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.